Note to self. When a mysterious book glows bright neon orange, do not touch it. But did I listen? Nope.
Chicago, October 8th, 1871. A city of 300,000 people, mostly made of wood. In the middle of the driest summer in recorded history. Chicago, October 1871. Beautiful city. Busy, thriving. Also completely, entirely, catastrophically made of wood.
Chicago had gone most of the summer with almost no rain. The wood in the buildings, the sidewalks, the fences, all of it had been baking in the heat for months. The whole city was basically kindling. About a mile from the center of the city lived a woman named Catherine O'Leary. Irish immigrant, working mother of 5, sold milk from her cows. She went to bed early that night, around 8 o'clock. At approximately 8:45 that night, the O'Leary barn caught fire. The first person to see it was a neighbor named Daniel Sullivan. He ran into the street screaming.
Within days, newspapers had the story. A cow. Mrs. O'Leary's cow had kicked over a lantern. And that is how the newspapers decided the whole thing started. The city launched an official inquiry. 2 months, 1,100 pages of testimony. Mrs. O'Leary testified she was asleep when it started. Her neighbors confirmed it. The board concluded they simply didn't know. Why did the story stick? Not because of evidence, because Catherine O'Leary was Irish, an immigrant, a woman, a Catholic. In 1871 Chicago, that was enough for some people to decide she was guilty. Whatever started it, the wind decided what happened next. A strong southwesterly wind picked up the embers and carried them northeast, directly into the densest wooden neighborhoods in the city. There was almost nothing anyone could do. The fire department responded. They were sent to the wrong address first. And when they did arrive, some of their equipment had already burned. Chicago was on its own. Over 2 days, the fire burned 3.5 square miles of the city. 18,000 buildings. 100,000 people. 1 in 3 Chicago residents lost everything they owned. Not everything burned. The Chicago Water Tower, built from limestone, survived. It's still standing today. Same stone, same spot. And then, Chicago did something extraordinary. Within a year, 10,000 new buildings were under construction. Within 2 years, Chicago was bigger and better than before. Because when Chicago rebuilt, they didn't rebuild in wood. They built in steel and stone. And in doing so, they invented the skyscraper. The first one in the world, right here. In 1997, 126 years after the fire, the Chicago City Council passed an official resolution. Catherine O'Leary and her cow were exonerated. After the fire, Chicago wrote the first modern building codes. No more all-wood construction, mandatory fire breaks, fire-resistant materials. Every building you've ever been in,
anywhere in the world follows rules that came from Chicago, 1871.
That city that burned to the ground in 1871? Today, Chicago is the third largest city in America, home to some of the most iconic architecture on the planet. All of it built on the lesson of one terrible October night. The Great Chicago Fire destroyed a city, and then that city turned around and invented the modern world. I may have just given myself electric hair again.
Time to go before the next fire starts. Statistically speaking, I've been in a lot of dangerous chapters lately.
A city that burned. A woman who was blamed for something she didn't do. And a lesson about what you're made of, not just your buildings. The Great Chicago Fire of 1871. Messier, sadder, and more human than any textbook will tell you.
Oh, there's already a new one. Boston, 1919.
Oh. That's gonna be a fun one.
If you made it all the way here, you're officially a history detective. Subscribe so you're there when Boston 1919 drops. And drop a comment. If you were in Chicago in 1871, what would you have grabbed running out of your house?